traded here, ladies and gentlemen, is human misery. The right to well-being ought not to be part of a trade negotiation. Our right to make our own laws ought not to be part of a trade negotiation. Our democracy should not be at stake. It should not be at part of a trade negotiation. And we are here today to tell our representatives that all of these things are priceless and ought not to be on the table.
Absolutely.
So I ask you, and I want to tell Tim Grosser and the National Party, if they sign this deal, we will not forget and we will not forgive them. And they will be gone at the next election. TPPA, no way. TPPA, no way. Thank you.
Who's got the power? What kind of power?
Take a look at my friend. Don't think about the
I'm not going to talk too much about this Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement because I'm guessing, looking at the signs, like me, you think it's a pretty dodgy agreement. You know the reasons why this is a dodgy agreement. I want to talk to you a little bit about how change happens. Because I tell you what, we were not meant to have a say in this agreement. It wasn't part of the plan. Because I tell you, the corporates, the self-appointed, wealthy corporates in their high-rises in Wall Street and Washington, when they were cooking up this agreement and getting the bidding to be done by politicians like John Key and Tim Grosser, it wasn't part of their plan that we would be here today protesting their dodgy agreement. They didn't want to see the health sector mobilising around the impact it's going to have on the cost of healthcare and the rising cost of medicines. They didn't want the health sector mobilising. They didn't want Māori mobilising, saying the Treaty of Waitangi, which we signed in 1840, our predecessors, how does this relate to your dodgy secret treaty, which we can't even see, to see how it's undermining our rights in the treaty that was signed in 1840. The corporates and John Key, they didn't want the tech sector and others talking about the impact this agreement is going to have on our copyright laws and our ability to regulate in the national interest. They just certainly didn't want workers and unions, my unruly lot, talking about the impact this agreement and provisions like investor-state dispute settlement mechanisms can have to dick over workers around the world. Like the Egyptian government, who was sued for introducing minimum wage laws by a company who didn't like that there was increasing the minimum wage. And I'll tell you what else, you were not part of their plan when they were cooking up this agreement. They wanted this agreement to go through in secret, without any debate, without any opposition. And they didn't want you to be rallying here today, and they didn't want rallies in Hokianga and Kaitaia and Whangarei and Auckland and Whakatāne and Hamilton and Newtown and we were not part of the plan, but we are part of the plan. We're taking over this debate and we're making sure we're front and centre of stopping this dodgy agreement. Kia kaha, kia toa.
But one of the things that's pushed so many people in the health sector into being absolutely furious about this agreement is the way that it's going to push people who are healthy into sickness.
Yeah.
And processes which make it more difficult for countries to bring in controls on unhealthy products. You've all heard about the 50 million price tag that Australia is facing in terms of stage one of fight back to the tobacco companies. That's what we're signing up to in this agreement. And we need to not be handcuffed. And that's the words that the Director General of the World Health Organisation uses. Our government must not be handcuffed for health.
People don't often acknowledge the role our actors and our performers and technical professionals play in our national identity. It infuses who we are, and it gives us a sense of self and pride. In cultural terms, whether the forum is TV, film, theatre, music, or the creative and technical efforts that underpin those endeavours, New Zealand must hold itself out as something much more than just a service industry, picking up the bits and pieces where we can. That's not good enough. No. The cultural and the employment costs are simply too great for the government to gloss over that issue. The ability to speak to one another in our own voice must be maintained into the future.
Right here. Right here. I got your office right here. Right here. Hey Johnny, I got your office right here. I got your office right here. I got your office right here. Hey Johnny, I got your office right here.
It's a party on the State Department. Give it a big round of applause. Who's got the power? What kind of power? Who's got the power? What kind of power? This is our house. This is our parliament. They will listen.
Walk away!
Tell me, Jack, have you had fun today?
Differently.
Tell me, Jack, do you think that John Key should have to listen to all these people and to you?
Yes.
If I said TPPA, what did you say?
Go away.
I think if I said this too, if I said Tim Grosser, would you say go away as well?
I don't know.
Got the power! We got the power! What kind of power? People power! It is spectacular, and I tell you what, they will not ignore this message. They will not ignore it because, again,